This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So.
Page 30, say the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everybody. We're at the Mitchell County Board of Supervisors meeting. It's at the courthouse in Osage. The meeting is available by GoToMeeting also. There's an agenda in front of us. Any corrections needed, or accept the motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Mayor has made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Darko seconds. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approved minutes of the November 14th meeting. Corrections needed? Otherwise, we can accept the motion to approve it.
Make a motion for November 14th meeting.
Hendrickson has made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Brian seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none?
Roll call, Todd.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Cindy. Aye. Mike.
Aye.
Mark.
Motion carries. County Attorney General discussion. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I do have to cover a couple of court hearings this morning, but I think they're probably pretty short. So if I leave here, I get 5 tell, that's why. And if they're short, like they're supposed to be, there's not a whole lot on there, see, so I don't think there's much of a reason to get behind. I mean, I don't think they'll get too behind because there's not all that much on there, so I should be able to get in and out of it. But don't have anything too specific to discuss. One thing I was going to discuss, I don't know, when Mark Walk is county attorney, I don't know how much he ever discussed this, but like when we have juveniles in the juvenile detention facility, the county's got to pay for that, right? I mean, I was always on the prosecution end so much that sometimes I let other people handle the financial end, but we there's, and it's not that often that we have, well, I mean, I shouldn't say, it's fairly often we have somebody in there, but I don't think we usually have very many in there at one time. Anyway, I think we have one in there now, I guess is the point that I was getting at. And he may be in there a little longer. I don't know, those bills come, I think that's not a particularly cheap thing, from what I understand.
What's going on?
I mean, I understand that it can be, so anyway, if you see something like that come through, and maybe it's not unusual for you. I mean, I just assume you're used to seeing it, but,
There's 2 of them. There's one in Waterloo and there's one in Eldo.
all right, so all right, so it sounds like you already know what's going on, so.
Well, there's 2 of them.
Yeah. So,
We don't know what is happening with the individuals,
Yeah.
but.
so, okay, I guess that's all I have, specifically.
Any questions for the attorney? Okay, thank you. Sheriff update. Don't see him today. Department head discussion. Is there any department head discussion?
Sure.
Okay.
Finally got my Chevy Tahoe from the emergency management department. So, it'll be a 2013 Chevy Silverado 1500 half-ton truck. We'll get back to the county. and Kelly can take bids from the departments like you guys normally do, and if there's no bids from the departments, then so.
Okay.
Whatever. Got it set it on the west side of the shed over here on the public health property, and if anybody wants to look at it or whatever, I got the keys to it, just give me a call.
Sorry.
It'll help that way too, so.
Are there any graphics that have to come off of it or anything like that? Okay.
I got a magnet on there. Over. It's got a radio, two-way radio, VHF, and then it's got the lights and stuff. I figure whatever department wants it, they can take it off. So, like if conservation or the road department wants it, it would be nice to have those directional lights, but they are red and blue, so they'd have to change the lenses or something to yellows or whatever, so.
Okay.
Just a heads up.
Very good.
What year was that again? 13? What year?
2013, just under 90,000 miles. And it's got 86,000, 88,000. Just had to all change that. It's good to go.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Any other department head discussion?
Yes. We might look at that truck, just to see if it's something we could use for a mower truck. We had a board, November board meeting last week. Let's see here, we had the Historic Society came. We had discussions with them about, them building a museum area out since they got, their area and space at the CRC got shrunk down. They came to us and discussed about adding on where their current museum is out there at the Nature Center location, to put their museum stuff that was up at the CRC and moving it out there. The board approved, right now that they would look at that as a possibility pending final, whatever they get drawn up by an engineer type thing, final design plans, because we don't want to have just this big awkward thing out there. We want something that's kind of appropriate and aesthetic to the property type thing, but working with them in the future could be a benefit for both sides, so we're definitely interested in that. The Easy Rider Snowmobile Club was also in attendance. They came and discussed repair to the bridge up at Berjan Wildlife Area, and then trading the trail that goes through the Berjan Wildlife Area a little bit. The board okayed the trail change, and then we're working with them on repairing the bridge. The bridge is fine, it's the actual embankment that's starting to slough away with the creek. So what the conservation board agreed is that we provide time and equipment, but they would have to buy all the materials and stuff on that. And so today we're actually gonna be hauling rock up so that we can armor that, armor it. They're gonna place it, take care of all the cost on that, and we just gotta use one of our guys in the truck and a dump truck today and knock that out. Lane with Wapsie Trails was there to give an update on their annual meeting and things that they had going on. The board also designated the wetland area. The old county farm home is in public hunting. We'll go public hunting as of December 1st. It will get signed next week, and then it will be open to public hunting for people to utilize in the future. The board discussed truck purchases. Well, we tabled that. It'd be something I'll meet with you guys, get you guys up to date here in the next couple of weeks, but we tabled it for a budget process. We did our annual report, which I'll give to you guys a little bit later type thing. Like I talked to you guys here a few weeks about, we talked about dam updates. Again, the dam project's put off till next year because of DHAC and FERC pushing it back. So we're waiting for, they're still going through their process, so we'll get that wrapped up, and then we'll do that process in September, October next year. Our hope is by February, we actually have an exact date that we can start. Again, the only reason that it wouldn't start on that exact date is if it's flooding. If it's flooding, we can't do anything with water and dams anyway. So, and then the last thing we had on the agenda was the Bennett access. We're rewriting, we've got a verbal agreement with the Osage Conservation Club for Bennett access, also known as Two Poles. Rewriting up a new easement agreement for the property, which we agreed to terms on that. We just had that sent off to the county attorney. He reviewed it, just got back to me here yesterday or Friday. I can't remember the day, but we're going to submit that to the Osage Conservation Club for them to review, and then hopefully move forward from there. That's all I got. I'll just sit here because I think I'm the next two things on the agenda, so I'll stay in the hot seat.
The public hunting, is there boundaries as far as that?
Yeah, just be the wetland area. We'll mark and we'll put for the four corners. We'll mark those. We have 10 signs. We ordered signs yesterday, but we only got 10 signs left. But we'll boundary the thing so that people know where the public hunting is. And then we'll also be shooting the 200-yard marker with the neighbors across the road to make sure we're 200 yards away from their house, and we'll mark that as well. So, shouldn't take up too much of the space. I mean, 200 yards it should give us quite a lot of space still, but we'll have it all marked out. We'll add more signs in the future, but we only got 10 left, so we'll put as many as we can up, but we have to wait for Prison Industries to get us the rest of the signs where we can go from there. Other questions?
Now, the pheasant, deer, and
Anything that's legal in the state of Iowa for hunting that follow the same Iowa guidelines is what we put in our resolution. So the only thing that we added is it's no lead. So you can't use steel shot. That was something that we had as a easement on the conservation easement, and due to the fact that it's a wetland, we don't want to have lead flying out there. So it has to be steel if you're going to go bird shooting.
Okay.
All right.
Conservation fiscal year 23 annual report.
All right. State code requires you give the annual report each year, so this is for fiscal year 2023. I don't know how it was unpacked, this is kind of how I do it. Give you guys the basics. You guys can read through this at your leisure, but basically it kind of gives basically a brief update of what's going on with conservation in fiscal year 2023. Our areas that we manage: general fund operations, tax asking, and tax asking for the recycling center. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. A lot of new faces, as you guys can see there. Wildlife Award, county conservation systems throughout the state of Iowa go through the award. This is the 4th year in a row that Mitchell County has won first place for under 20,000. So that's a streak we want to continue to try and keep going towards. Our general fund and tax asking, I'll hit those, and the rest of it's for your guys to read at your leisure type thing. But for the conservation department, we ended up being $3,200 under what our tax asking was for the fiscal year. And in the recycling center, we were $11,900 under our tax asking. So we always try and be fiscally responsible. At least I do on the board. We try and be fiscally responsible with our money to make sure we're not wasting the taxpayers' dollars. We're spending it appropriately. And if we can save, we save. And give it back when the time comes. So any specific questions? Otherwise, like I said, this is just a hit the hand on the court. I think in the past, you guys just got numbers handed to you, so I apologize. I kind of make it more of a book, something to read. And if you're bored and want to fall asleep, there you go. Read it at night. You'll be out in no time.
Any questions for the director on anything?
And the last thing, there's a map of all our county areas on the last page, so you can kind of see where the properties are.
Still got the dirt pile on the wetlands?
Still got a dirt pile, yep.
that Francis Park out there in New Haven, does that get used much?
It's like a picnic park type thing. Its usage isn't as high as a lot of our other areas, but it does get use. It's more of a Mennonite Amish usage right now would be higher. Not that, other folks don't use it, but that seems to be more of a day park, picnic type park type thing. But a lot of what I've understood is it's based on river. It floods easily. So if the river comes in, it dumps a lot of sand, then we got to go ahead and reclaim the park from the sand. So that dictates how much usage it gets in that year. So if we have a bad spring, mops it out, then we clean it up. And unfortunately, most people don't want to go down there because then it's become kind of a mess type thing. So.
A lot of bugs.
And a lot of bugs, yes.
Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of activity, and I'm figuring that's the reason.
That's the reason,
It's
yeah.
getting tough down in there.
Yep. A lot of our areas you'll find, and it's not just Mitchell County, it's statewide, is a lot of the ground we own is next to the river, so we're always flood prone.
Yeah.
With those.
We give them the opportunity to look it over
Yeah.
if they have a question.
How does the camping revenue compare to last year?
on a fiscal year basis so the problem you got, what you're seeing in front of you is your fiscal year. So that's the end of one year, the beginning of a next. But if you go by season, our camping numbers for summer to summer, we were just, some parks were down, some parks were out. So we ended up being pretty average type thing. But on a fiscal year, I don't know, that's the hard part. Summer to summer is one way you want to look at it, but the way our fiscal runs, you're getting July, August, September, and then you get April, May, June the next year, so it kind of throws it off depending on what the weather pattern is.
Weather, yep.
Yep.
Are we good to go? We'll move on to the next item.
Nice brochure.
Yes. Discussion and possible action on maintaining old county home ground.
So this was brought up, kind of the big gray area might be the best way to say it. So the wetland area, if you've been out there, you got the barn, and then you kind of go to the east, is where the dirt pile is stocked, and then that's all by that ordinance under county conservation. But where the actual home sits is kind of county ground, but it's not being maintained. It's not under the county conservation. It's just kind of, I don't want to say no man's land, but it's just kind of like sitting there type thing. The county conservation, we're willing to come in. We've got some ideas of what to do with the property, but it's not ours, so we're not making any plans type thing. We'd like to, if it becomes county conservation managed area, we then start making a plan for it, developing it, and the biggest part would be to maintain it. This last summer, the grass just kind of grew as it wanted. It's kind of got some areas that probably need to be smoothed out. To me, personally, I look at it as like it's a liability right now for the county because it's not being maintained. If someone goes out there as a public area, they go out there, find a hole, break a leg, hurt your ankle, that sort of thing. It's not a good thing. It'd be better if, in my mind, the conservation board's interested, we could take over, manage it. If you guys would go ahead and put that under our property, we'll manage that area, develop it, maintain it, and start getting it back into shape type thing. Might be a little, make it look nice type thing if you guys are interested in that. But right now, it's not designated under the county conservation, so the home is your guys's, under your board, but no one's maintaining it. We have the equipment and the ability to do it. The wetland is under our operation, so. Just something we wanted to bring up. If you guys wanted to stick it under us, we'd start maintaining it and start putting it in our development plans and do something more with it than let it just kind of sit there and go wild.
What would be the process to do that, and what would actually have to happen to turn that over for you guys to do that?
Motion and vote.
But I mean, is there I guess, is there a document, or is it an easement, or is it just, it becomes?
So the way I look at it is it's county owned ground, so you guys can designate it be designated under the county conservation's management type thing. Unless there's something out there that I'm not aware of with the county farm, there's no board or group, right? So it's just owned by the county, so you five have ownership of that property since it's not designated to the county conservation, it's just county ground type thing. So you guys can do with it what you want. But you guys, to make it happen, all you'd have to do is make a motion, vote, and say that the ground is now going to be managed by the Mitchell County Conservation Board moving forward from this point. You could do a public hearing on it if you wanted to, but you're not required to, from my understanding.
I don't think so. It's not, you're not selling the property or anything. I mean, it's not like the county's disposing of real property. If it was, then you'd have to, just to make it plain, for the record, I guess, if that were to happen, I could do a resolution or something to memorialize things,
But the conservation always did mow it out there.
Yeah, but looking back through everything, we don't have anything record-wise that says it's ours. We just kind of been managing it type thing, or mowing it, maintaining it. We're just wanting to do more with it if we can, because it's kind of just been mow and that's it. Like, thought process has been had is, you got the barn isn't really in the greatest shape. Maybe we could move that garage over to McIntyre, use that as a trail type thing. There's been thoughts on, we could take that grain bed, move that to the nature center area and use that as a warming area for the sledding hill that we're going to be developing. Level everything off, get rid of the ash trees that are going to become more and more of a problem for you out there. Maybe take it in to make it a day kite park. It's kind of like Francis Park, but a little bit better. Start that off as a trail area that will cut through the wetland areas. Maybe put a nice shelter or something out there down the road. I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities. We have nothing it's not our ground. It's just been more of gray area. I had conversations with Milt, the previous director. He just said we kind of maintain it because we had the equipment. We'd like to do something with it more than just mow it and let it be as type thing. So put it under our thing and go from there. We'd ask and go from there.
Ever since the building was torn down, I guess that's something I thought would be nice if it turned into a public area. And now since you have the wetlands there, it's adjacent to the wetlands, that's what I always thought would be nice.
It could be a nice day park type thing. We're not gonna take it, it's not gonna become a campground or anything. It's just gonna be a day park type
Yeah.
thing. It's got asphalt, driveways already into it. Easy to set those up and maintain. So.
I think Dave's got a bunch of stuff stored in that barn.
Yeah, and we can work with him on that too. It's not like, Dave's got stuff in there, we can work with him. It's just, we wanna make sure, my bigger thing is just liability county-wise. Let's start maintaining it so
I
it's
can see
useful to
off
us.
the ground on that. Make it better.
If I remember right, there's an orange snow fence that's been laying on the ground ever since the building's been gone. I think they used to have it up so you couldn't get in there, but I'm definitely in favor of getting something better than what it is sitting there now. I mean, it's just an eyesore and it's a hard surface road and got the wetlands there.
Isn't there an old cooker out there? Firewood.
There is like that old firewood, but I think it's not anything listed on the historic or registry, but it is kind of a neat thing. We try and maintain that. It's kind of tucked away.
Asked about
Yep.
that a couple times.
Yep.
What we would even do with it, if we move it or leave it.
And we have, like I said, the conservation board really we just had, the staffing's had more discussions on it of things that could be done out there than the conservation board has. We just brought it up to the conservation board as, if you five are interested in giving it to us, would the conservation board be interested in maintaining it as one of their areas? And they were. But we don't have any like concrete plans out there, but right now it's just more, if you guys are interested in putting it under our designation, we'll start maintaining it and come together with a plan.
Is there a motion to designate the old county home ground to be maintained by county conservation? Is that appropriate motion for it to happen? For you?
Yep. Just
Is there a
put it
motion
under
for
the
that?
conservation's management type thing.
And you'll work with Dave if he wants to store.
Yeah, we're willing to work with all the department heads. So yeah, we work with Dave on that.
When we get anywhere to go, is whatever he's got out there. I know he's got stuff out there.
Assume he'll get the plan, then bring it to us and.
Yeah, it's not like something's gonna happen here in the next 6 months to a year. I mean, next spring, we'll start trying to get it cleaned up and mow it, maintain it, but it's not like we're gonna do anything major in the next year. We've gotta come up with a plan for it first and talk that out, so.
I'll make a motion for that.
Arthur made a motion. Is there a second? I'll second that. Any further discussion? Hearing none?
Roll call, Mark,
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Sydney.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Todd.
Motion carries.
Thanks, guys. You guys all have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You all too.
County engineer update. We do have a meeting at 9, so that can make it quick. Not to rush you, but let me know.
The 105 bridge will not be open before Thanksgiving.
Uh-oh, I lied to some people.
Well,
Uh-oh.
you never guarantee a construction schedule because there's weather, but they're supposedly trying to pour the bridge approach today. I haven't been out there. With the bridge approach, they still got the bridge ends to do and the guardrail and things like that. So schedules are what they are. The goal was to try to get it done. I never guaranteed it, but we always thought it was possible. So,
Are they okay with all the
They
days?
asked, what do you
I think they're okay with the working days so far, but if they keep going much beyond next week, it might be close. So that's bad news, I guess. I'm diligently working on closing out some projects. We've got that STP or the federal aid project we've had out there for a while. And I'm trying to avoid any other issues with closing that out at too late of a time. So I'm working with the DOT on that. The whole issue was losing an assistant back then when we had nobody to help with inspections and stuff. So the paperwork just got backlogged. So I'm trying to catch up on all that stuff, along with the other projects when we were without staff. So I'm working on that. I've been shutting my door and leaving people out. But at any rate, we've got some other contract issues here, proposals for, for borings on a couple of bridge projects. One of them is our federal grant project, the RAISE grant project. The one south of McIntyre needs some borings done so they can continue preliminary design. The fee is a lump sum of $10,750 to do 4 borings and a report. We can reduce that cost by $1,500 if we provide flaggers. Seems like the going rate for this kind of testing work, so I'm gonna recommend we approve this one. I don't know if you guys need to sign it or if you want to authorize me to sign it. The other one is for the I-232. That's down, I can't remember what the road is now. We've been working on this one for a little bit, thinking we could put box culverts in, but the way the rock and everything is, and the right of way is kind of too tight, so we're thinking of a smaller bridge type structure. So they need to get some borings to find out where the rock and soils are there too. So that one's kind of progressing a little slower than the other ones we wanted, but that fee is, I think it's $6,325 for the borings there. I'm gonna recommend we get approve these, and if you guys want me to sign them, that's fine. If you want the chair to sign them, it doesn't matter to me. But if we can get these approved, we can get the borings done and continue on preliminary design.
Okay. On Rachel's guide, she had it as far as motion and second and approval on these individually, so we'll do it individually. Is there a motion to approve the proposal on structure H-142 bridge replacement?
That's the McIntyre one, correct?
That would be South McIntyre.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Mayor has made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll say,
Brian seconds. Any further discussion?
you're okay with the manpower of flagging?
We've done it in the past to save a little bit. If we've got them available, we'll do it. You'll have to give us a heads up, because I don't know if they're gonna do it if we're out plowing or not.
Yeah.
But do you want to sign it, or do you want me to sign them?
Let's pass it first, and then we'll ask that question, so. Any other discussion? Hearing none?
Roll call, Jim,
Aye.
Sydney,
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Todd.
Aye.
Okay, it doesn't matter to me, I just give it to you. So let's move to the second one while I'm doing this here. So you explained the second one is for $6,325. Is there a motion to approve the proposal on structure I-232 on that bridge replacement?
I'll make that motion.
Henderson has made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Arco seconds. Any further discussion?
On this one, am I missing it, or do they not need flaggers?
Well, it's on the gravel roads, they may or may not.
Okay.
So, but I think that I noticed that too in there. They didn't mention that, but if we do provide them, I'm sure they'll give us a break on that. But a lot of times on these other ones, they're off on the side. They're not usually, being the one on the highway has more traffic, they're gonna have to probably bore. I don't know if they have to bore from the bridge down, because they gotta get at pier locations, so I'm not sure how they do that. They can't really get down in the water, so they might need more traffic control there than a quick bore. They might set off on the side of the road, so.
And you just make that decision?
Yeah.
That one on the gravel, they're gonna have to make sure they have traffic control.
Yeah, because it's on a curve and a hill.
It's kind of a nasty spot, so. All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none?
Roll call, Todd.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Sydney.
Aye. Jim.
Aye. There's two here,
I think just the top, yeah. The only other thing I have is I think that we'll be, probably receiving, we passed Worth County yesterday, the bridge inspection stuff. We'll probably be getting that in the next week or two for Mitchell County for the every 2-year bridge inspections we do for meet federal requirements. And I think I've maybe mentioned in the past too, this year we've got to contact all the fire departments, because now have to rate all of our bridges for emergency vehicles. So now all the local fire departments have to submit, because sometimes their axle spacings aren't the standard axle spacing, and then they're a little bit heavier sometimes too. So now we've got to evaluate front bridges. Like I said, to maybe you guys are in Worth County too, this is getting crazy now where we're gonna start restricting, not restricting, but we may end up restricting a lot more bridges based on different axle configurations. And how are we gonna keep up with keeping our bridges in tip-top shape to allow all these heavier loads, these goofy axle setups and everything else? I mean, in an emergency, we don't want to restrict access to anybody, but sooner or later, the money is not there to do what we need to do. So
we'll eventually be behind because we just can't afford to keep up.
So I just as a heads up, there's always things to do with our bridge money. I don't know how this evaluation turned out. There'll be more coming up within the next inspection cycle after this one, I think. There's some timelines we have to meet for that. Plus the fact that by, I think it's fiscal 24, we've got to abide by that all systems overweight permit. And so anyway, I'm done.
You're done?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's 9 o'clock, public hearing. Let's see here, situated. It's 9 o'clock, this is a public hearing to amend fiscal year 23-24 county budget. We are now in the public hearing. Rachel, was the notice of the proposed budget published in the newspaper and copies available at the auditor's office?
Yes.
Has the board received any written or oral comments? I have none.
None.
Nope, none. Any comments from the public attending this meeting? I hear none. Any discussion on this item from the board?
What's all the 991?
That is the remainder balance for the HVAC. And
Oh, okay.
so
Okay.
last year, we had expected more to be done prior to the end of the fiscal year, so we have amended it to put the remaining balance for this year.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion from the board?
Nope.
Okay, I will close the public hearing at 9:01. We approve this by resolution. Resolution is 1199-23. Whereas it is desired to make appropriations for the various departments as per the budget amendment this time. Excuse me. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Supervisors of Mitchell County, Iowa, that these changes be made in appropriations. Expenditures, increase $4,400 to the Water Quality Department, increase $50,000 to the Auditor's Department, increase $8,000 to the Courthouse Department, increase $991,805 to the Non-Departmental Department. Now for revenues, increase $15,000 to the Water Quality Department, increase $1,700 to the Social Services Department, increase $30,915 to the Non-Departmental Department. And if we approve it, it's approved this 21st day of November 2023. I'll accept a motion to approve resolution 1199-23.
I'll make that motion.
Hendrickson has made a motion.
I'll second that.
Mayor has seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none.
Roll call, Cindy?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Todd?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye. Motion carries. Approved annual urban renewal report. Rachel, do you want to speak to this a little bit?
Sure. So the front page is basically the overview. It lists all the active urban renewal areas. Has the TIF debt outstanding beginning year of fiscal year 22-23 was $22,024,928. The beginning fund balance of the TIF fund was $175,106. The total revenue was $4,679,782. Total expenditures was $4,485,135, which leaves the ending fund balance of $369,754. And the outstanding TIF that we have left is 17,170,039.
Okay. Thank you, I just wanted to have a
Yeah.
general description. so.
And then the rest of it breaks it down per urban renewal area, but that's
Okay.
This has to be submitted by the first.
correct.
Any questions from the board? I'll accept a motion to approve the annual urban renewal report.
I'll make that motion.
Marco's made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Brian seconds. Any further discussion?
Just one question on that. So when I was going through the pack the other day, that's quite a long document. Is that filed in your office other than being on our email?
Yeah, I keep the one file and then and you can look at it online too. I've never looked at it online, but yeah, I always keep a copy.
Okay.
You look at it online, Rachel, is it on our website then, or is it something Department of Management?
Department of Management.
Okay.
I think you can view it there.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Any other discussion? Hearing none.
Roll call, Jim,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Todd,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Sydney.
Motion carries. Approve courthouse holidays for calendar year 2024.
Doesn't even seem like we should be doing this yet.
I'll have to admit, I didn't look at this real closely yet. Is there any changes to this, Rachel, as far as what's on here for this piece of paper?
No, we're just finally hitting all the holidays during the week, so it's not funny ones that, like the current year, I want to say December 24th and 25th, it got moved. Because Christmas Day is on a Sunday, I think.
This year, Monday.
Is it Monday? It's Monday, and so Christmas Eve gets moved to the 26th on a Tuesday. So this year, they're all actual days,
Yeah,
which is kind of nice.
crazy.
Same days as what we had before, just?
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. Is there a motion to approve the courthouse holidays for calendar year 2024?
I'll make that motion.
Mayor has made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Marco seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none.
Roll call, Todd,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Sydney,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Motion carries. Items of note, meetings attended. I also went to the Conservation Board meeting, but just listened. No comments, just listened about it, and he went through everything here, so there's nothing for me to comment more than what he did. I had a Mitchell Soil and Water Conservation District meeting, and that was the new NRCS District Conservationalist is, I may have wrote this down wrong, his first name. Gathan Heeman, I believe is what it is. So he's the new conservationalist. Devin Storks, he is the Rock Creek watershed coordinator, and he talked about the big soil event again that's going to be happening this spring in Charles City. Mitchell County, Floyd, Howard, and Chickasaw are the participating counties in that. He commented that Iowa is the third highest, Mitchell County is the third highest in indemnity payments for natural disasters on crops. Iowa is. So we have a lot of that happening, and so then he also talked about the Sand County Foundation, and City of Osage is doing this. This foundation works with cities in the DNR to sign a memorandum. So rather than spending millions of dollars in wastewater treatment facilities, the city can shift those funds into a wetlands. It's kind of like what the wetlands is, the mitigation bank wetlands is designed for. So that's something that the DNR allows to happen, and the City of Osage is either signed with that or is looking at doing that memorandum. They talked about a Kenza grass seed, and they're trying to do something at their Ramsey farm, which is kind of a demonstration plot for everything that they do. That's up by Otrano. There's a small chunk of ground in the one corner that is going to be coming out of CRP, and they're thinking about doing something different. And this Kenza grass is a form of a cover crop, and it's I believe it's a perennial intermediate wheat grass, and it can be used for various food products. So I guess those are the highlights to that one. Had a Osage City Council meeting last night. Gardner is their auditing firm and went through their audit. They did just fine with that. Osage City Chamber of Commerce has a new hire. It has a new director. And the newly elected individuals took their oath of office. I think that's it. I'm done.
I had a conservation, a landfill meeting, I forgot my notes at home, so. It was very generic.
We had the conservation board meeting and Mike went over that. We had a North Iowa Community Action Organization meeting. Had their annual report. In 2023, they served 11,627 people in our area. That's the equivalent of 1 in 12 people in our service area. So, and you know, they have assistance with utilities, house remodeling, furnace replacement, all kinds of services. It's all based on income. And I don't know how much Mitchell County uses this service, but I don't think as much as other counties, but they have a $12 million budget every year to assist with all this stuff, and their federal money is $9,596,000. Their state is $1,145,000, and they have some private funds of $1,072,000 and some in-kind contributions of $702,000. That's where they get their $12.5 million budget. Like I said, they have a lot of assistance with everything for homes, utilities, you know, hardships, whatever. But people just need to apply, call there and apply. They have all the information, just have to meet the income guideline and be under 200% of the poverty level in Iowa. So anyway, that was my 2 meetings.
All right, Shell Rock Watershed, do we have an open house for what projects they're gonna do? And had pretty good turnout. And had a wellness meeting the other day, and when we had our meeting, we didn't have enough assessments and to get our full refund or our percent to get off our max. But Lindsay and Shannon had a conference call, did you, with
Yep, with
ISAC? And then,
Brad at ISAC, and
so we got her.
yeah, we'll be good.
Good. Twisted his arm.
Not really.
That was it.
I had a fair board meeting. It was the annual officers meeting where they elected president, vice president, secretary. And then when I talked about all the different committees, most of them all stayed the same, the committee heads. And then they added 1 new member. So that was it.
Okay. Public comments. Are there any public comments? I hear none. We can canvass the votes, Rachel? Okay.
So we have 2 copies just because we keep one and then we send it to all that with these 2. Yep. So let's do,
Is this bigger or shorter than the last one?
a lot shorter.
I need a pen.
Yes.
You need a pen?
We're not
Good
going
work,
in any
good pen.
specific order, I'm just going in order here. So Sinansker School Director, District 1, Will Morrow, so this is combined Sinansker and Worth County, not Sinansker, Mitchell County, Worth County for Sinansker. William Morrow received 286 votes, scattering was 2 votes. Sorry, I'll look for this one. Sinansker School Director, District 2, Stephen Grill, received 285 votes, scattering was 4 votes. Sinansker School Director, District 7, Kyle Tabbert received 281 votes, scattering received 7 votes. Okay. What's the second set? Yeah. Okay, the next one is Osage School Director at Large, Todd Bryan. So this is Floyd County and Mitchell County. Todd Bryan received 337 votes. Laura Class received 461 votes. Elizabeth Rehut received 375 votes. Sherry Penny received 364 votes with 3 scattering. And then for the city of Riceville mayor, so this is Howard County and Mitchell County. Lynn Doan received 116 votes. Scattering received 8 votes. City of Riceville City Council at Large. Paige Porter received 82 votes. Wade Warner received 102 votes with 10 scattering. And City of Riceville City Council at Large to fill a vacancy. Nathan Hinter received 81 votes. Luke Harkin received 109 votes. Amber Richardson received 27 votes with 7 scattering.
That's all?
Yeah.
All right.
That's yours.
I think those are all.
Slide very well, are they?
Sign a lot more than red.
We're sending double.
Oh, double.
Yep, because we keep a copy and they get a copy.
Our principal's getting deployed. Our new high school principal's getting deployed in March. So we wanted to find somebody to intern, while he's gone. It's like for a year. First time he's ever been deployed. And, so we put it out there and we hired a guy last night that is a former principal of where our high school principal went to high school. He's retired and he's gonna retirement. And so that'll be a pretty easy, he'll shadow my year, start.
Yeah, we're still live recording.
So did we cover everything on the agenda then?
Yep.
Okay, meeting is adjourned. 9,
That's too.
9,
I think
19.
No good way to get there.
No,
Better?
so